Well, I'm DJ J
Don't let
Torture.
your voice get you in trouble.
You know everything already.
That's all right. Get your ass on out of here. We don't want y'all know that. Fuck you, don't want to hear me.
She got some $90.
Alright, I'm DJ J Torture, president of Eastman DJ, CEO of Eastman Radio. I've been doing this for a long time. Started from nothing, nobody trying to help me. Built a team around me with a lot of strong people. One of them's Judy Jones, Lucky the Promo King, you know, Tyrone. Work with a lot of people, a lot of artists. Always open to work with anybody, give you any type of information, because I definitely tell you the truth about your song. And some DJs won't, they just say you. Where's my $6?
My name is Judy Jones, and I've been in the business for about 10, 12 years. I started doing marketing and promotions, and I learned a lot of stuff from Kermit, who's mean as hell, but I love him. He's bossy. You do this, do that.
But they give you the facts, though, right?
Anyway. Nah, seriously though, I've been in business a long time. I actually started doing things in 1978, before some of y'all was even thought about. And I've been doing distribution, marketing, promotions. Now, my main thing is consulting young artists. That's what I want to do, because it doesn't matter how much money you got. If you putting flyers and posters out here and you don't have your head on straight, you ain't going nowhere anywhere. Anybody can tell you anything. So that's what I do now, is I try to consult you and keep you out of the hands of the snakes. I'm doing God's work.
Amen. Amen. Wow. Church.
I'm the most experienced panelist up here. Started off DJing on the weekends in college to make money on the side, to get into the retail side of things. It took me onto the wholesale side, distribution side, and now basically I'm doing international music and film distribution through Fontana Universal, and I also market and promote artists, as it says on my thing there on front there. And don't forget to pick up my business card before you leave. I'm easily approachable. I return people's phone calls some of the times, texts all the time. So, cost you nothing to talk. I'm not like Judy.
Yeah. You don't pay $50 to sit down with me and I'm going to hear a bunch of nonsense. So you got 50? Anybody in here got $50?
It's worth it.
Anybody got $50? Oh,
yeah.
so y'all gonna play me. What you gonna talk about?
What you gonna talk about? Mine too. Shit.
My name is. Yeah, what you selling down there?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. John, this is a boring group here. Knowledge. Okay. My name is Sid, S-I-D, Uncle Jams, that's with Z on the end, Johnson. And let me see, I'm a music producer, I'm a songwriter, I'm an artist manager, I'm an entertainment consultant, I'm a publisher, songwriter, and I'm a journalist. And I can be your worst nightmare, all rolled in one. What I try to do is I try to tell a lot of the younger people how it needs to be done. See, the problem is, when you're dealing with people, especially when they're 18 and above, sometimes they're going to do it their own way anyway. But I'm going to tell you similarly to Judy how it needs to be done. I really don't like managing because it's hard to babysit grown people because they don't want to listen to you. But I've already got a Grammy. I've got 10 gold records, 7 platinum records, 5 multi-platinum records, BMI awards, Billboard awards. I'm already in the history books for having co-written 2 of the greatest ballads of all time on 2 occasions and slow jam. So if you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. Let's see if you get anywhere close to where I've been and where you're trying to go. And I'm not saying any of that to brag. I'm only saying that I have some wisdom to share with you. And if we can work together with the new street way and the old school veteran way, we might be able to make some things work. You guys, I'm so troubled on these panels when I see a lot of artists that are not signed up to BMI or ASCAP, and some of your songs are getting played in the public domain and you're not getting any royalties. I do that. I have a relation. I'm a BMI guy, so if you need to sign up as a songwriter and a publisher, I can help you. I can get the name that you want to choose for your company reserved, and we can get it popping. I know some people that have written gold and platinum records and never received a performance royalty, because guess what? Still to this day, they've never signed up for BMI, but they thought they were in. I guess it was a magical way that you get in. I don't know. Nobody told me that in 1976. So that's who I am, and I'm accessible to talk to after this event. I also will give out my business line and my email address. So I think this is your industry panel here. Who's pretty lucky?
Lucky disappeared.
He's outside.
You just speak for him, whatever.
Okay. We'd like to give Lucky a big round of applause.
Yeah.
One arm and all putting this together. Does anybody have any questions for anybody on the panel? If you have a question, just stand up so we can know who you are.
Y'all ain't got no questions.
Taking in information.
Well,
I can sit here and talk shit all day long.
I just want to ask y'all, how many of y'all don't have BMI? You're not registered with BMI or ASCAP?
I'm ASCAP.
You are with CSAC?
Okay. How many of you are not registered with a performing rights organization, one of the main three? If you're not, don't be ashamed, raise your hand.
Raise your
because we
hand.
can help you.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell y'all to do. When we get finished here, I want y'all to proceed and get your BMI registration done, okay? That's what I want y'all to do today. Before y'all leave this place, you're going to be signed up with BMI. How about that? All right.
Okay, you have a question over here, brother? You had a question?
Yeah. Question. When receiving royalties,
Which kind
how
of
important? Okay, how important is it
Which
to
kind
have
of royalties? There are three types.
publishing, performance, and songwriting? How long does it usually take for you to receive your royalty payments?
9 months after the record is reported at radio, cable, satellite, jukeboxes, any kind of way. So 9 months after the fact. That's in your performing royalties. That's one royalty. If you're an artist, there's a thing called an artist royalty from sales of recordings. Then there's a thing called mechanical royalties, and that is if you're a songwriter and a publisher on that particular recorded piece, and that comes from the sales of that. So there are three types of royalties. Actually, there's a fourth one, and that's a merchandising royalty. If you're having t-shirts, caps, silicones, and teddy bears, and all that kind of stuff, and you enter into a deal with somebody, they give you some percentages off of that. I'm leaving out DVDs because it kind of goes in line with your mechanical royalties on your recorded product. It's sort of the same rate if you have a DVD that's for sale.
Thank you. Let's say you have a talent for music, and you say you're an artist, but you're not the type of person that likes to be in the forefront. You want to get into writing and possibly trying to get your art to somebody else who could possibly use it, might have the same type of flow. How do you go about doing that?
I'm going to let Judy and Kermit take a stab at that because they are really good at that networking thing. Like when Judy deals with artists and Kermit, if they see a need, like if you need, as they call it in hip-hop, you need beats, she knows a lot of beat makers. If she sees that you're a little bit more expansive than just a rapper or a hip-hopper and you need a producer, then she knows how to make that call too. Because there is a difference between a beat maker and a producer, and don't you forget it.
What's the difference?
I set myself up for that.
I can actually answer that. A producer will sit down and tailor a song specifically for what you're trying to do. A beat maker just wants to sell you a beat. He doesn't care what you do with it. All he wants is he wants to get paid for the beat, and if you publish it, he wants to get paid for the publishing also. A producer will actually tailor a song for you, may even help you write and structure the song so that it fits you best, so you're not just leaving the studio with just anything.
That's a pretty good answer. There's a few more. That's
a great answer.
We have a talk. I'll be in St. Louis.
Yes,
We'll be.
yes.
This is possible.
No,
we'll be
really,
in St. Louis.
we'll talk.
Yeah, there's a little bit more, but that's pretty much basically it. It's like the last R&B artist that performed, Zay, Stand Up Zay. That's my artist. Me and Judy work with him. We're working on his album right now, and I'm producing, because I'm not a beat maker, and we have to find tunes that fit the key. We make sure the arrangement is correct, the bridge comes in the right place, the ad-libs are correct, he gets coaching and direction. That's what a producer does. Most beat makers don't even know an A flat from a G minor. They just go to some sort of machine and push buttons and, man, I made a beat, check out my beat. Okay. Judy knows how to put people in touch with what you were talking about, like helping you shape your thing in another way. And she and Kermit like deal with people that can do that kind of thing.
Well, the main thing is what I do is, first of all, when people come to me for the marketing and promotions, I have to see where it is you in your mind have vision that you want to go, because the vision that you have is not always the right vision for you. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a star and be known and this, that, and other, but nobody knows them across the way. Now, come on. It's people over there too. So what you have to do is you have to understand that when I could do it all, I don't try to do it all. Because I think a person should master one particular avenue and then let somebody else handle that. It's called staying in your lane. Okay? One person doing everything for you could always miss out something. But if you want publishing, or you want distribution, or you want to be on the radio, or you want a mixtape, see, I'll send you to see it for the BMI and getting your songwriters and everything, the royalties together for you. Your performance rights. I'll send you to DJ Detroit to get your mixtape done. I'll say, call Torture if you want to know about Heat Spinner's radio. I could tell you some things, but I can only tell you what he done told me. 9 times out of 10, that's going to get twisted. But if you go right directly to that source, you're going to get the right information. I'll send you to Kermit for distribution. I know how to do distribution, but Kermit is doing something totally different now. He's in the new age of distribution. I'm not. I know who to send you to get the right information. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, the reason why we do things like this is so that you don't get took for your money. You can always go out and listen to what somebody gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you 9 times out of 10, if I don't know them, they ain't doing nothing, and they just trying to take some money. So if you're not dealing with a superstar panel up here, Torture even got an award. Everybody get Torture a big hand. He received his first award in Cleveland, Ohio, for the Nerve DJs. DJ Torture. He is so proud of that darn award. I'm proud of you too, Torture. We get on panels every time.
We had to make special
Let's see if you really turn red. I ain't seen too many black people that can turn red. Yeah, Torture.
Yeah.
That's the fire in him.
I'm going to stay in my lane and just let Judy talk.
He let me hold the mic for him. Ain't this some stuff?
I'm in my lane.
Boy, if you don't tell these people about that distribution of content and what you got going. Look at these rings, y'all.
Look like he won a Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. He the Super Bowl of distribution.
#1.
You know what I'm saying?
I have a question over here.
Who got a question? What you talking about?
Stand up. I was wondering if somebody could elaborate on, once you put yourself out there as an artist, the difference between keeping your personal life and you as an artist separate. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people get into trouble going out in public, and I'm this artist now, but I'm still acting how I acted before anybody knew I was an artist, and this is getting me in trouble, basically. So if you could elaborate on that.
Judy still
I
do
think
it.
you should answer that question.
She still act up in public.
But see, I earned the right to act like that. You got the right. When you get 54 and you look like me, I can do that. Anyway, Swan Elliott, You messed me all up. Okay. Here's the difference, Zay. I'm gonna tell y'all this for real. And I heard a lady speak on that earlier today. The difference is now, no matter where you are, you're an artist. People gonna see that. People gonna hear you. And they're gonna see that text. They're gonna see everything you do. And I'm gonna tell you like this. If somebody gets assaulted, harassed, or whatever, they're not gonna say them dancers right there did it. It's Zay. See, so you gotta understand that they represent you too now. Now, I was down, that's who said it, the girl right here, talking about the radio. Now, when you got at your Facebook as Zay, Fox, if you want to say some nonsense on there, you need to change that to something that nobody don't know that you clowning. Because we trying to promote you, and you done said some dumb stuff, you set me back. How can I promote you positively? I don't care if you cussing or what, but how can I promote you in a person's eye to want to buy you if you on there talking about how you and your boy just ran a train on this girl? You understand what I'm saying? Who gonna buy your shit? You feel me? So it's things that we as promoters do that when you go on there and say something stupid, you set us back. Not only that, the police look at that stuff. Mystical and them, they got it. That's how they got caught up with videos. Bragging about what they did to some girl. As an artist, you are an artist 24/7.
Thank you.
It don't matter. You no longer have that identity that your mama gave you. You got what we building. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So you're an artist 24/7. And although sometimes I don't agree with everything everybody say, I'm telling y'all right now, you're an artist 24/7. Okay?
Okay.
Got a question? Let me say something on that first.
See, there are some people in this world that are computer geeks, and that's what they do as a job. Some people do the skyscrapers and wash the windows. You've seen them up on those boards. Some people are nurses, some people are doctors, some people are teachers. Everybody in this room, you chose that you wanted to be an artist. I didn't choose that for you. If you want to be a buffoon and say whatever you want to say on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, whatever, then guess what? Don't be an artist. But when you told me that you wanted to be an artist, then you had to give up the wicked ways. Because I hear some of you that are artists talk about some of the whack things that some of your fellow craftsmen and craftswomen do. So that lets me know that you're thinking that was out of order. So imagine if people are looking at you in the same light. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I know the street grind is totally necessary in any industry you in, you know, hand to hand, getting out there, living and learning. But is there anything, any way that, or actually, can you guys tell me, where did you receive most of your inside info other than that hand to hand relationship?
Well, it's not necessarily just hand to hand. It's all about building relationships. Because if you build a relationship with somebody, it makes it a lot easier. Like, say you want to break a song. You build a relationship with a DJ. Okay, you work with this DJ, and you bring him a song. Say, hey, I've done this. I got all my paperwork right. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's your main DJ. Now, when that DJ plays that song, and he likes it, he takes it to other DJs. Now, he's done your work, because when he takes it to other DJs, if another DJ walks up to me and hands me a song, I'm going to be quicker to listen to it than anybody in this room, no matter who it is. Because it's just, he just took a chance on his craft to play your song. So now, and it's working for him. So he's saying it's hot. Okay, I need to check this out, because he already took a chance, no matter what city, what state, wherever he's at. So it's all about building relationships, because when you have a relationship with somebody, don't just take somebody's contact and call them one time. Call them once a month or at least once every 2 months just to see what they're doing, just to say hi, whatever. Hit these different industry events and things like that, because no matter how small or how big it is, you never know who you're going to run across. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what's going to happen. So my thing is build the relationships, because sometimes when you build a relationship, you may have a song that you're pushing and you're not realizing it, but there's 40 other people over here pushing your song just because you built a relationship with them. Or maybe there's even artists that I know personally that I've seen some of their songs posted on some of the sites where I get my music from, and I haven't even asked them for a song. I'm already playing the song when they gave it to me, just because of a relationship built. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to talk to everybody, the DJs, artists collab, you know. It don't matter what it is, you know what I mean? Always build a relationship, because you never know who that person knows or who they work with. Because unfortunately in this industry, it's all about who you know. So if you don't know the right people, that's it.
Even us, okay, I do promotions and marketing, but these guys are all with me on the team. We're a team of people. If I need certain internet promotions, I'll call Kermit. Okay, if I need some kind of distribution question or whatever, I'll call Kermit. Tortured, he got the Heat Spinners radio, he a DJ. DJ Detroit, he don't even know me, but I pressed up all his mix CDs, I listened to that mix, the boy doing something. You understand? And I'm going to tell you something. Even with See It, you know, you all know that I have a relationship with him. Tyrone got 24/7 magazine. He takes good graphics. I mean, dude be working. So, you know, I don't care if you already got yourself established with somebody else. If they're not doing as much as you doing, then you need to change your setting and get you a team together. That's why when people hire me to do their marketing and promotions, I do charge. Yeah, I gotta pay these people. These people been doing this stuff forever. And when Kermit tells you that a single, you know, you're gonna push a single, you need to have a budget anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. How far do you want it to go? If you want it to go across the street, get somebody $20 to run across the street. Shit. But if you want to go around the world, you're going to spend your money. We are not here to babysit you. We are here to put you on the right path. The right path. Lucky is a hell of a promoter. He does a lot of things. This fool stood on the table the other day to take pictures for his...
He was getting the video footage.
Video footage for his little magazine thing, 24/7 magazine. And he done fell off the table and almost broke his arm. But he still kept doing this, didn't he? He been here all day long with his hands swelling up, blood not circulating.
Turning black and blue.
And if you know me on Facebook, I take pictures of roadkill. I can't wait till he fall out. Because that's going to be my picture on Facebook.
I want to say a couple things. Everybody talking about Facebook a lot. I just wanted to cheers with you, like, listen, as far as the artists or telling the young man about they have a different profile. I find it very odd, you know, because I'm a workaholic, so I'm always doing some kind of work. And I'll be on Facebook maybe like 5 in the morning or whatever, you know, all time of day or night, you know, checking stuff. And usually I just have it open. I'm not really on Facebook, but I just have the page open, and I might accept a friend or something. And people assume I'm there on Facebook doing whatever, but all I did was accept a friend. But anyway, my point is that somebody come to me and, you know, young lady, young man, you know, good morning, Mr. Henderson, how you doing, this and that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, you know, nice, intelligent young man, nice, intelligent young lady. Then like I said, I go to their Facebook page, young lady, she's cussing like a sailor with her girlfriend all up and down the comments. You know, or the guy talking about something that, you know, it's like, you know, totally not business. I'm like, how can they come to me like they just straight business? Good morning, Mr. Henderson, how you doing today, sir? I'm like, I look at their page, MF this, and man, them H's just do it. I was like, what the? You know, like, so I'm like, can they really be serious? You know, that's my point, is that there's nothing wrong with that, and, you know, always be you. You don't try to be phony or whatever. But it's like amazing to go and you know, if I just decide to just go look at their page, I don't find the information like, you know, the bio, my website, what I'm doing, you know, my song, my videos, or whatever. I go there and find, you know, like day-to-day drama, you know, but nothing really business related. It just freaks me out. They come to me after they done, you know, checked out my page, you know, have people, oh, I done Googled you to death, and I didn't check out your page. I looked at your videos, your seminars on your page, all this stuff, and then they come to me with the, but they're not serious. And it just kind of bothers me to hear that, because the one thing I try to do is that, to me, record exec to me is a bad name. Record exec normally means the person that you would never ever talk to. So I try to make myself available to anybody. Like I said, I drove here, did nobody pay for my gas to get here, nobody paid for me a hotel room. Nobody's buying me dinner or even lunch or breakfast. I'm talking to him. Nobody bought me anything.
I got one where he got some. He got more than I do.
But anyway, my point is that I don't mind doing that. I believe in giving back to the community or whatever. But my thing is that I do want people to pay attention. I'm saying, like you said, when people walking outside or like they already know what's happening, or they really need to be here no way because they're already where they want to be. I mean, that's the way I look at it. If I see people walking out, I mean, I understand that, they got to go to work and stuff like that, and things happen, that we all have to leave. But just like when I left, they probably thought I was leaving. I had to go to the restroom. But when I see people leaving, I'm like, wow, did he really, does he know it all? Did he learn everything? Because I still learn. I mean, like, I usually learn something at every conference I go to, even as long as I've been in the business, I learned something. Like, I remember it was 2007, I think, at TJ's birthday party in Tallahassee, where I learned about the 360 deal for the first time. I heard about it. So next I looked into it. So next thing you know, I'm a 360 deal expert. And speaking of 360 deal, I'm going to give an example of an artist. Somebody sent me a friend of mine sent me a contract over to looking for a 360 deal for artists. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, please. Look, I'm old school. I'm like, man, please. Then I just happened, I said, let me forward to my attorney, Ben McLean. I said, let me forward to Ben. So, I said, Ben, look at this, man, this is ridiculous. So about 2 weeks later, he said, Kermit, he said, actually, the way you promote, that probably at work. I'm like, really? So I called my friend back, Don Huggins back. I said, Don, Ben just said this probably at work with the way we promote. Next thing I know, the artist's name was K-John, K-Jon. He was the #1 adult urban contemporary artist for 2009. That probably wouldn't have went nothing if the attorney hadn't called back. I had to call Don and say, hey, man, we should take this deal here on Universal Republic. Got the Universal Republic, big artist, big, that year, and boom, so you just never know, what could happen. Like, I remember when I first worked the Kaya record, and My Neck, My Back, back in 2002. I started promoting this girl's record. I couldn't even get people to return my phone calls, including Judy. Like, then after the record started taking off, hey, buddy, how you doing? Buddy, you the same person who didn't take my call. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing how people can change. But anyway, like I said, the one thing I want to do in leaving here today is that, I'm not up here, the ego tripping thing, but I try to, but you have to have a goal, and my goal with my company is to be the modern day Motown / Interscope / Def Jam, and meaning what I view them as being. There's nothing wrong with them, but it's just the fact that I feel like major labels now are not really breaking artists anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're just not doing it, and it's a reason for that, because every time you look around, they're downsizing, right? So if I'm sitting at the label, and I can keep my job by shutting my mouth and just doing my job, then fine. Why should I sign J Mail right there that's, hold the video camera, when if I sign him, if he don't work out, to be like, okay, who costs us this money? Oh, Kermit, oh, you need to get rid of them. But if we just do our job, push pencils here, go from there, go get coffee, we're going to still get that paycheck. And I'm just noticing this over and over again at the major labels. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what they do, because I'm not there. This is an assumption or just an observation from conversations, like rumors. But it just seemed like, name anybody that the major labels are really breaking like they used to. How do you take artists and break them? Name somebody. The ones you probably would name, they probably come in from some production company that's already got money behind it, that they're, they just happen to be going through that situation. But not that they're actually breaking anybody. But just like, the artists that we have here, this is Gabriel Bello, he's a jazz artist. This is our very first release through Fontana, first album release. We got our deal back in June 10th, 2010. It took a whole year to get everything together, read this big manual, learn Universal System and all that. We finally said, okay, let's put something out. Put it out. He debuts at #1 on the contemporary jazz chart. This is the 3rd week he's been #1. When he came on, he knocked out Bonnie James. He outcharted Paul Hardcastle his first week. The next week, he jumped over Michael Bublé, who was on American Idol and also has sold 2 million records. So it's like saying, it's a new thing for me, so it's like a new baby, but at the same time, it still feels good to still be successful as you're moving forward. You know, because I mean, I've been in the business so long now, I can't do nothing else. I can't say, well, I can't go say, well, okay, let's go, with your second game plan. I don't have a second game plan. So I know a lot of artists feel like that, but you really don't, because you can do what you want to do. But at my age, I don't think I can start nothing fresh other than entertainment or music related. That's all I've done all my life since I was 19 years old. I don't know anything else. I never had a job. So I'm an entrepreneur. If I don't go get it, like even coming here, even though, I didn't come here and it's not like I'm going to leave with a check or anything, but still in the fact of business, if I don't go get it, it's not going to come to me, But like I said, one thing I'm going to do leaving today is to feel that I could be the Russell Simmons or the P. Diddy or the whoever that you can at least talk to, communicate with, get a straight question from, whereas those people, you might not ever reach them. So I'm at least looking at that type of a person that you can reach that, and I'm not trying to equate myself with them, but I'm saying I'm your Russell Simmons because you can't talk to Russell unless you go buy his book, and that's just a split second. Hey, Russell, I want to ask you a question. Okay, did you buy the book? Okay, let me say it. What's that question? Oh, yeah. But then, you're on the side of the next book. So that's all I want to say. I'm just you looking in the mirror. I come from, very poor community. People say that you can't, be in the heart of the ghetto and make it. I was in the heart of the ghetto, drug infested, all of that, gangs, whatever, and all that. I come up out of there, you can too. There's no excuse. It don't matter about, your financial situation or whatever. It's about the person. I'm the person that carried a whole bunch of books around. I'm the one that decided to go to the library all the time. I'm the one that decided to take French, Latin, Spanish, and English literature in back-to-back classes in 11th grade to, further myself and do that. I'm the one that decided to go from a poor community to go to Case Western Reserve University and pursue pre-med in chemistry, even though I sidetracked and got into this business and been stuck ever since. Thank you for your time.
Just in follow-up to what you asked about getting in and learning and what have you, when I first got into the music business, I kind of started on the rock side. Came from the other side of the railroad tracks, and I kind of liked the rock thing. And what I did was there used to be a promotions company in Indianapolis called Sunshine Promotions, and they were the ones who used to bring all of the concerts in Indianapolis. And I went to see all the rock stars of the day, and I got to hang out with them, get the backstage passes. I got to see the contract writers. I got to know what was going on. Then they let me be a little runner for them sometimes. I'd pick up the artists from the airport, take them to their hotel room, hang out with them. I got to see what went down at sound check. And I like that aspect of knowing. I mean, I got baptized like in the fire with that thing. I saw heavy duty contracts. Then when I went into the R&B side, I saw Cameo on the show that Manchild was supposed to be on with them. And they came into the arena to go on stage. And they walked in off their tour bus, and they turned around and walked up and said, "We're not performing tonight." Everybody was looking, why are they not performing? Well, in their contract writer, it said that the shaping dishes, if those of you know what a shaping dish is, that's like the little Bunsen burner things that keeps food warm. It says when they enter the dressing room, the Bunsen burner should already be lit and their food that's in the dressing room should be warm. There was an elderly African-American woman that was doing the catering, and her thing was she wanted the food to be warm once she had been told that they had gotten there, so she hadn't lit it. And so when they walked in there and the Bunsen burners weren't going, they said that's a contractual breach. And they went and got back on the tour bus and were ready to leave. Let me tell you, that was really deep to persuade them to get off of that tour bus and to come back. I even helped saying, "Hey man, this is like your grandmother or somebody." She was trying to make it right for you. She wasn't trying to be caught up in any contract violation. The rock group Van Halen used to have to supply them with M&Ms of certain colors. You know how M&Ms come in multiple colors? There were certain colors of the M&Ms they didn't want in the vat. And if they saw any of those other colors in there, they wouldn't go in and perform. So I learned from being backstage and observing all the crazy stuff. And I was like, boy, let me tell you. You got something to say, DJ?
Yeah.
Like that, man.
Got baptized in fire.
Pretty much, I'm here to work with all the artists out here, and I'm trying to build my name up as well. Torture taking over everything,
Oh, man, we go.
Yeah, we got to get back on Torture, but I'm out here to promote everything as much as I can. I got artists I deal with in Detroit, also
I got people out of actually the whole Midwest. Right now I'm working on a mixtape called Midwest Made. I want to put a lot of artists from the Midwest on there. It's strictly nothing but Midwest. So, you know, from here all the way up to Milwaukee, I mean, you know, whatever. You know, I'll give you my email, everything, my contact, so that you can get with me on that. I'm ready to push this out as soon as possible. And it's going to be a series of it. It's not just going to stop at one. It's going to keep going. You know, so I'm trying to put the Midwest the way it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? We got to get back on the map hard. I mean, Atlanta doing their thing. It's time to show them that Motown can be up in this area. You know what I mean? The Midwest is wide open. There's not really, you know, I mean, you got major artists that's coming out, but I'm talking about like underground. I want to do an underground R&B. Nobody's really pushing out R&B like that. You know what I mean? Stop it. Yeah, that's my idea. But I want to work with everybody that's in this room. If you got more artists that you deal with, you know, we can do that too. What's up, man?
I've been performing at big concerts. Like I opened for Young Buck, I opened for Twister and stuff. And the biggest problem I'm having is like the concerts for them, they'll let me open for them, but then when I be trying to get in these local ones, the club want to trip with me, talking about I ain't old enough and stuff, so how can I work around that?
That's just the law. I mean, seriously, because if you're not old enough to be in the club, they don't want somebody to come in there and say, well, he's a minor, and then they get fined, even though you ain't drinking or you just performing. That's something you really have to work out with the club on, because there's a way around it.
How old are you?
I'm 20 and I'll be 21 next year.
There's a way around it. I've had an artist that was 16 in the club performing.
I mean,
but he had to be escorted in, and as soon as he was done off stage, he had to go right out.
Yeah, but now they trying to trip and I'm like, and I perform for these big artists, they don't even trip. But when I go perform for just people here, they want to trip with me.
Well, it's true. Liquor's involved. That's what they said.
They can lose their liquor license for letting minors in.
Like at them,
Because they probably didn't know you was underage.
Well, I mean,
and they didn't care because you probably, I hate to say this, paid to open up, right?
I mean,
you paid the promoter?
Nah, well, I knew somebody I knew the promoter, and like I talked to Buck's manager, and Buck's manager, he was thinking about putting me on the team, but they going through a situation that I just kind of left that alone. But it was like
What's your name as an artist? What's your artist name?
Top Dog.
Top Dog. Did you perform today?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have to be 21.
I mean, I didn't even.
I mean, why? See, let me see. This is my thing right here. Why y'all worried about them clubs anyway? When the hell you worried about performing for them clubs? The reason why I say that is, ain't nobody in that club gonna go buy your stuff. You understand? You gotta get to the people that's gonna buy your product. Don't worry about whether they don't let you in the club. That's their laws. Go perform on the street. You feel me? Don't worry about the club. How is he with you?
Me?
Yeah.
21.
You 21?
Oh. He look young.
About 15. Jesus.
You would have cussed him out.
What I'm saying to you is this, okay? It's certain places that everybody need to be. Who is buying the music for real? Who going on the internet and download? Who? What you say? Somebody just said white kid, and teenagers. Okay, so where they at?
At school, high school, at the park.
And these under 21, I mean,
the club records don't sell. People don't care about that.
No, nobody care about what them people doing in them clubs. To understand this, okay, we got a big beach party that we promote. You got to go to those beaches. You're going to see everybody at the beach. Everybody. Okay? You're going to see everybody at a car show. A bike show. You're going to get a mixture of black, white, this, that. And them same people that was in that club, they at home sleeping it off. They ain't gonna buy shit. Half of them ain't even got a computer. They in that, when you go in the club and you drinking like that all night long, you drinking your sorrows away, sweetie. They don't want to hear what you talking about, hip-hop this and hip-hop that, rah, rah, rah. They just as soon cut you off. They not gonna buy nothing. Go to where your people who gonna buy your stuff gonna be at.
And I want to say something real quick before y'all go to the, we're going to have to wrap it up here shortly, but if y'all can't make it out to Bash It today, what she was talking about, we are taking bags out there, so just shoot us an email if you want to get your product in those bags, and y'all can be represented at the Bash It today. But we're going to have to get out here shortly, so after you make your comment, y'all go into y'all final comments, and we can wrap it up. And if anybody want to get with any of the panelists, y'all can get with them one-on-one.
Right.
And I am always available most of the time, some of the time. I forgot what I was going to say because Lucky cut me off. But when you get older, that will happen to you every now and then. I don't know when it started to happen. I forgot when it started. Anyway, final comments. Like I said, the main thing is, when you put together your team, have people that are, just excited about your product as you, and any team, you're only as strong as the weakest member, like a chain link. Whatever that weakest chain is, that's what you got to work on. I do have a question for people. Well, it's not a question, but something to think about. Like, a young man performed earlier, and he said, well, I'm going to do the rap thing and have my homeboys come on stage. And it's like, what he did, it didn't look too horrible, but I've been in a situation when I've seen 30 people on stage. Okay, so now who is the original rapper that we trying to brand and buy the song and know what they look like? Because we got, I've actually, at the Young Jesus show I was talking about earlier up in Cleveland, it was like 3 groups perform, including Young Jeezy. They had 30 people or more on stage with them. 3 different groups of people perform with 30 or more people on stage. So it's like, okay, so who's the main rapper? Who's the person being branded? Who's trying to have a career? And who just, hanging around? And then if you start off like that, like say if you're trying to impress me, like, hey man, I want to get with your company. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come check out your show. And I check your show, you got 30 people on stage. I'm like, I don't want to be bothered with that. That guy's not focused. He just want to be the life of the party. He's trying to please everybody. I want him to please himself. In turn, please me with, record sales. And we all make money. But I don't see that going anywhere. That's just somebody that just want to be seen. That's just the way I look at it. Maybe I'm too old.
I personally don't think you're too old, Carmen. I think you're telling the people the right thing. If you got a group of people, when the main artist that song is, when that person's there, he need to stand out. Okay? That person need to stand out. Y'all don't need to be tripping over each other, this, that, and the other, okay? It's sometimes accidents gonna happen, but you gotta make that person stand out. Everybody can't be on stage, all your homeboy. Like you take this whole half of the audience and put them on stage, and they ain't rapping or they ain't doing nothing up there. What is they up there for? That's crazy. Okay, so, bottom line is, I know we got to get out of here, and I'm Judy Jones. If you need to get in touch with me or whatever, my card is in the back. I have cards for you. Most of y'all, know me. Hit me on Facebook, whatever. J Jones ENT. Is everything about me. That's J Jones ENT on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. And if I got some knowledge, I'll share my knowledge with y'all. But if y'all want me to work for you, remember this. I'm working for you, so I need my paycheck. Cut check.
I work for free.
One thing I'm going to say before we get out of here, something that nobody touched on, and I'm really surprised. Another key to you being an artist and being successful, I'll give you 2 things. One is have a hell of a stage show. That will help you improve everything because you have everybody's attention. But the biggest thing is brand yourself. That way people know it's you. And I'm going to use my guy here for an example since he's still in the audience, like Amp Tees. Look at him. Next time y'all see him, y'all gonna remember who he is because he got them glasses on.
And the briefcase.
And the briefcase. He found a way to. He found a way to brand himself. And yeah, the first time you look at it, you go probably like, what is he doing? But you remember that man every time you see him.
But if you don't have a briefcase and those glasses, you're going to walk right past it.
Yeah, exactly. But he's branded himself, just like there's an artist here in the city. If y'all not familiar with it, Kano. He branded himself with the toilet. Now that's weird, but it's working for him. You know what I'm saying? He branded himself with something. It's kind of off the wall, but every time you think of it or you see his logo, you know what it is. So find a way to brand yourself so you can stand out from all these other artists and rappers, because there's so many rappers out here, and some of it starts to sound the same at the end of the day. So find a way to separate yourself.
You see my brand here, right?
And your ring's brand.
Easy brand. The ring guy.
You can't be like me. I want to be like you. But anyway, just stick to what you're doing. I mean, keep your style the way it's supposed to be. Don't try to act like this rapper. Don't try to act like this R&B singer. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because, I mean, I tried to mock a lot of DJs out here. I mean, that's not me. And my style is a whole different style. So, you know, just be yourself. And, I mean, you'll make it somehow. You know, don't go out there trying to be another Kanye West. You know, do you. That's the best way I can put it. Just do you. You know, that's all I really got to say, you know.
Make music that is going to be pleasing to people that have disposable income. Those are people that will buy a physical CD or go to the internet and download. If you're making music for people in the hood that don't have anything any more than you, you're not buying it. The biggest blocks that buy music in the United States of America are females between the ages of 13 to 24 and the gay and lesbian community. They buy the most music. Hard ankle, hood rat, thug, N-words don't buy music. They want somebody to burn them one, or they'll break in your house on a home invasion and steal your collection. Now that's real. So if you're making music for them, you're defeating your purpose. I can be reached at mecapmusic@gmail.com. That's MECAP, music, regular spelling, @gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Uncle Jams with a Z instead of an S. And if you want to see me afterwards, I can give you my business line number, but don't call me unless you're ready to get your publishing company set up and you want some serious consulting, because I'm not interested in hearing you tap dance over the phone, trust me. BMI costs $150 out of your pocket to sign up your publishing company. To be a writer, it's free, and I charge for providing the service because I have inside connection and can get your name reserved and get you in quicker than Flint. I also can help you get your songs copywritten and other things that you need. I don't cost that much, but we can do all that stuff in one day and get it over with. All right? Let's give Lucky a big round of applause, everybody, for putting this on. The one-armed bandit, grinding for the cause. He is now a one-armed man. Okay, Lucky.
Yeah, but everybody probably wonder what he mean by that and wonder why I'm walking around this on my own. I'm going to show you how.
The speaker, dog. That's how the commotion started.
Oh, so he told y'all how it happened.
You gonna show us?
Yeah, here, stand on the table, look.
But that's serious business, though. You know what I mean? I want to wish everybody here the best with y'all careers. You know, if there's anything that I can do to help y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all know how to reach me. A lot of y'all got my number. Y'all been calling me for the last week, 2 weeks. So, you know what I mean?
I want to compliment you for having some good talent. I mean, I go to a lot of places, and I saw a couple people today that were nervous, but other than that, I did not see one act that I was like, are you serious? Am I sitting up here watching that?
Yeah,
I thought everybody
I agree.
Let's give it up.
I agree. And personally, you know what I mean? I don't really do a lot of events in my city because, you know, everybody say the same thing about my city, this, my city, you know, but it's coming around, but I like moving around because I like meeting new people. you know, hearing different things, and I'm an independent. You know what I mean? I'm lucky the promo king to call me the groundhog because I stay with my independence. So, you know what I mean? Like I say, I want to help y'all be the next Gucci Man, G, whatever. You know, we broke all them cats. They was sitting at seminars just like this, like y'all were. And we broke all them cats. And we can't even call them now and get a drink with them. But, you know what I mean? But, like I say, you know what I mean? I appreciate everybody supporting this, coming out. And you know, even those that came left after they did a thing, but it's about unity and about the love and passion of what you got. If you didn't get a card today or didn't get some type of knowledge, I mean you was here for the wrong reason. If you got something out of this, you know what I mean, that means you came here and did what you're supposed to do. But if all these other artists that hit this stage, y'all should have got a card from them. Do some songs together. That way y'all get each other's fans. You know what I mean? Because like I say, the talent here today was real good. And like I'm with Kermit, I done been to some where, hey, it was time to go. I mean, honestly, you know, it's like, shoot yourself. Seriously. And I'm an honest person, so if you ask me, I'm gonna give it to you real. I can't sugarcoat it because then you're gonna be asking me to play that shit or take it to the DJs, and I ain't doing that shit. Cause my name's on mine. So, but you know what I mean? We here. I ain't hard to find. If I'm not in my city, I'm probably in yours. So just holler at me. I'll give it up for my panelists, Kermit, Judy, Torture, Detroit, This is what happens, man.